Well, I think that Mr. Siciliano's concerns are correct, and here's why. When President Nixon used the FBI and the CIA and civilian-clad military to take pictures of people during anti-war protests in the 70s, the Supreme Court said it was unconstitutional, and after Nixon left office, the Congress enacted the Privacy Act, which specifically prohibits any branch of government from copying the faces or the words that people use and from storing those in records.
Or the White House changing the rules a little bit to try to make it easier for the government to track you when you visit federal websites. Now, the government is saying it's committed to protecting privacy. My next guest is not so sure. He's security expert Robert Siciliano. Robert, what are they doing exactly here?
Well, the White House they want to give us cookies. But these types of cookies, they actually track the computer users' behaviors, what they like, what they dislike, what they buy, websites they visit. And these types of cookies, they can record usernames and passwords. They store this information via their websites from your browser, from your web browser. Now, since 2000, privacy advocates have squashed government has agreed not to implant cookies on our browsers via their federal websites. But now they're changing their tune, and they want us to have cookies now. And so the problem is that cookies' closest cousin is spyware. Now, cookies aren't spyware, but they're very close. And spyware, as we know, can be malicious. It tracks everything we do, every username, password, website we visit, and that's a close cousin to cookies. And the problem here is privacy advocates are concerned that if a government enables cookies in federal websites, then they could now merge into spyware. What's next? Maybe the Obama administration wants to get to know the public a little bit better, that they want to know when they get to a website, what pages they visit, what their behavior is, what they like, what they don't like. It seems that they have a relationship now with Google, and Google being, a huge data aggregator and search engine, that there might be some relationship here, there's some payback going on that, the Obama administration sees some opportunity in. And from there, the Google tracks us. I mean, they know what's going on, and I think the Obama administration wants a piece of that.
All right, but there's no way to prove that they're in cahoots with Google on this. That's just your suspicion, right?
Well, if you look at the history of what's going on, Google certainly has a lot of influence in Washington. They're throwing a lot of money around, and they're on whitehouse.gov. So what's next?
Hello, everyone. This is Jason Rutberg. I am National Deputy Director over Communications and Technology for USA 180 and Global 180. This is an emergency update. One of the things that we recently discovered from Earth Last Hope, who put out some information that 20 of the people who he has been working with have been removed from YouTube. We've actually determined exactly the source of this. Apparently what's actually happened is YouTube has implemented what Senator Lieberman has been demanding for the anti-terrorism guidelines. So let me make this real clear to you. This is 1959. Hasn't passed law, but they're implementing it. So this is a very, very critical video. What this basically says is, in May this year, Senator Joseph Lieberman demanded YouTube to block videos depicting assassinations, death of U.S. soldiers, as well as weapons training and speeches that encourage violence and could be used as a tool to create homegrown terrorists. Homegrown terrorists, people. This is right out of 1959. The bill has not been passed by the Senate. YouTube argued that it is impossible to preview all videos before allowing them to appear on the site, since approximately 13 hours of video are being uploaded every few minutes. That being said, the website will continue to rely on the user community to report the videos that break these guidelines. So what this is saying is, someone has gone out very aggressively and started flagging all these accounts based on this new legislation. So somebody had to, number one, know about the legislation because it just came out, and number two, they had to have a bone to pick with you. Earlier this year, YouTube removed over 80 videos that violated content regulations following Senator Lieberman's recommendations. However, the content uploaded on the website every minute remains hard to control. Senator Lieberman released a statement regarding YouTube's new standards for video, saying YouTube represented a tool for Islamic terrorist organizations to recruit and train followers. Now let me make this clear to you. Let me make this extremely clear to you. 1959 does not focus on Islamic terrorists. It focuses on American citizens. Make this damn clear. If you walk up to somebody on the street and hand them a Bible, you could be considered a terrorist under 1959. If you go ahead and flood the congressman's office with emails, you could be considered a terrorist. If you protest, you could be considered a terrorist. If you go ahead and incite, basically force or violence is the terminology here, people. Force or violence. Create videos about this now and blast them everywhere. Force or violence. That means if you advocate disagreeing with a corporation or a government, you can be considered a terrorist. If you advocate action against any of these, this is what the bill says. Senator Lieberman hailed YouTube's decision to strengthen its standards. Now this is about implementing 1959. Well, here it is, people, right in front of us. And the other thing, 6 people voted to defend the First Amendment because 1959 directly attacks the First Amendment. Now is the time to act.
So, the Australian government has decided the internet has bad things on it. Ooh, kiddie porn, bomb-making recipes, pro-terrorism sites, pro-murder sites, hate sites. So what are we going to do? Are we going to educate people on how to control access to these things? Are we going to talk to the young people about why some of the shit you'll see on the internet is not all that great? Or are we going to do something really, really stupid? Well, it's the government, so we're talking stupid responses. The current government has revived previous ideas of a mandatory nationwide filtering of the internet. Just like what China has. All the people who want to control what comes into their computer, their internet, there is a technology. It works 100% and you should use it now.